right, you ready to go? In three, two, one. Hey, welcome everybody to another captivating episode of Framing New Heights. I'm your co-host Michael Hicks, along with the best from Denver, Colorado, Coach Tone. Hey, Coach Tone, today we're going to talk about the topic that holds the power to transform and not just your physical surroundings, but I would also say your mindset and your well being. And today's episode, you guys, is about decluttering and the importance of it. And I think in a world tone that constantly bombards us with distractions and excess for everywhere and anything, we're about to embark on a journey today that's going to uncover the hidden benefits of simplifying tone your life. So grab your favorite beverage, you guys. Listen to your favorite pod, which is obviously Framing New Heights. I actually listen to us when we're working out or when I'm working out. And let's unravel and the secrets about getting more organized and decluttering a brighter future. What do you got, Tone? Okay. Interesting. Wow. Mm. All right. Absolutely. Yeah. This is what I got exactly what you just said, but here's I'm going to sum up what I feel you just said. When you remove the useless things around you, you create enough space for other things that are more valuable in your life. And I would say that decluttering tone is like an art that really should be studied and mastered because it's not as simple as people think it is. We have all these courses out there nowadays. We've got, hey, you could take this yoga course, you could take this cooking course, you could take this sewing course. There's so many fitness apps out there. There's so many fitness coaches. Well, you rarely see instructions on how to actually declutter, or what I call tidying up, to keep your places in order. I think the idea tone behind this of tidying up or decluttering, so to speak, is so much is expected for all of us for it to come naturally. But I believe it cannot be really taught or passed down from one generation to another, like I think cooking or sewing could go. But I think if you look back to, let's just say, our childhood, for example, I think you'll discover that we barely were taught how to tidy. And even if we were, it was really not reinforced until you mastered it. And I don't know where you're at with that, but I think this too, Tone. Getting rid of clutter is not an always easy task. There are real things out there of people hoarding. Okay. Clutter can make you feel, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. If you're jotting notes or you're listening to our podcast, here's the big key on what cluttering does. It makes you feel frustrated. It gets you tired. And guess what? You're unhappy at times. What do you agree with me on that, Tone? Yep. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Go. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I think something that I think we got to really bring into clarity here is something called rebounding. And I'm going to go in on what I mean by that. Rebounds happen when you don't feel any sense of accomplishment after tidying. You had talked about your laundry. And I'm going to get into that. All right. I'm going to get into that because this is a prime example of what so many of us fail or deal with, especially myself. You just said it exactly as well. But this is usually because we haven't gone through what the actual tidying process is with the correct approach. All right. So bear with me, listeners, for those of you catching on the live stream as well. The idea is for you to tidy up in one go. That's for most of us. Everybody's like, well, I got to tidy up right away. Well, when you are merely sorting instead of tidying, you get this rebound and almost lose interest in the thought of actually tidying up or decluttering altogether. So let's think. This is my approach, and I'm going to talk to you guys about this. When you tidy a little a day, we talk about this KPI goals, Tone, right? Small things, small steps. There's a chance you'll always end up tidying forever. For example, let's talk about this. I love that you use laundry because I think every one of our listeners out there can do it. I was talking to Amber about this. I was talking to she just sets a whole day, does it, just does it, does the laundry for the entire day. I do laundry every almost every day I get a chance. Okay, now bear with me here. So I'll do the laundry. I'll put, from the washer to the dryer. Then from the dryer, it goes to one location. From that location, I fold. From that location, then gets put away neatly. Now, here's the thing, guys. When you're dealing with clothes, and just a shout out here for those of you that either hang or fold, statistics shows that clothes last longer when you fold them versus hanging. Yes, there are some clothes that you can hang up, or you're supposed to. I get it. I do as well. But the other side too, tidying and decluttering, tone, color coordinate. Color coordinate, because a clean environment allows you to go back to what you talked about. It clears your head. And guess what? You then have pleasant thoughts. I just decluttered. I want to say this really quick before I turn it over to you, Tone. We were decluttering that pantry right in the hallway by me. You know where that was. So we're decluttering, and I buy cereal. Okay, there is a box of cereal there. You want to guess the year? It's exactly. It was 2019. I mean, I don't really eat much cereal apparently, so we decluttered that and threw that away. So my question, Tone, before I turn it over to you is: how many of you actually are tidying up books by category, clothes by color, pictures by year? Go ahead, Tone. Mm, mhm. Yep, I remember this. Or the bag drawer, the bag. Oh yes. Who can organize that? Can someone come over and organize that for me? Seriously. Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. I call it the sock monster. The freaking sock monster hit us again. Yes, that's fantastic. Hey, as we're laughing about this, but I think the common thing for decluttering, you guys, has to begin with discarding. And because if you fail to do this, your process is going to leave you feeling very frustrated. So you got to discard. So let me begin this process by some helpful tips for our listeners on what you should not do. Don't discard by location. Instead, do it by category. The second one, don't start with mementos like pictures and diaries that bring back fond memories. Okay, you don't want to start there. Avoid, here's the big one, avoid letting your family see what you're about to discard. Because all of a sudden you start discarding in your mom or your dad or whoever it is in your family, brother, sister. Why are you getting rid of that? And here's what's crazy. Here's a crazy thought, Tone. Clutter occupies our visual fields and gives our brains limitless stimuli to process. So then, as a result, it's more difficult to focus on the tasks, that are more, as there are more things to draw our attention to. So, and I talked about earlier about tidying and decluttering our clothes. Okay. That's really, really important because as we gather all our clothes together in one spot without leaving any piece out, start the process by discarding with off season clothes. Begin because it's the easiest for you to discern them and discard them. A lot of people get scared and really concerned about the number of clothes they are discarding, but feeling like they might not have any like nice clothes left after this whole process is finished. But the thing is about the sort, the thing about that sorts out fear, and then what it does, it gives you enough time to buy some clothes that are maybe better for you or that you like. Because then you're really good to go. And let me just give you this one more pattern, Tone. Really pay attention to this, you guys. And I talked about this folding. Some people believe that it's, and I talked about that. Folding is actually keeps your clothes a lot longer than hanging it does. Okay. But I know you got to hang things like your suit jackets, your coats, things like that. But when you're done folding, you guys, arrange your drawers, which is critical. I've got a sock drawer, and here's how I arrange it. I've got my black socks, I got my gray socks, and I got my white socks. That's my athletic wear. That's my workout socks. Then I got my dress socks. Those need work. I'll be honest with you. Those need work. But then I also have an underwear drawer. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about my underwear on air here, but literally I organize them in specific ways as well. Because I think the best way to rearrange your clothes is, I want to say this, you guys, real quick before I turn it over to you. Put your suits together, put your jackets together, fold the clothes that have similar textures together, which I just talked about. And I want to talk about books and photos. Photos. How many of you are holding on to photos that were your past? Maybe in a relationship. Why do you need those? Go ahead, Tone. Yep. Yeah. 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 Oh, get it. Yep. Yep. And as I like it, Tone. And then besides our clothes, I think the next process you guys got to hit is the books. And I talked about that. Books can be real tricky, though. And I'm curious on what you think about this because a lot of us like to hold on to books because of the information contained in them. But usually, I want you to still use the same criteria, even with books, like you do with your clothes. Discard books by keeping the ones that spark joy in you and toss out the ones that don't. Joy is a key word. And then I talked about photos. Create memories, but not all memories should be hung on to forever. Like, make sure you follow your intention well, and you'll discover that the process of tidying and decluttering over time, you'll end up knowing that just the right amount of stuff, what you need. And then I want to get into this part too, Tone, because I think this is a big one for our listeners. Let's talk about storage, right? Extravagant storage might make your space look cool, but most times they are really not necessary to use. Okay. So also don't scatter storage spaces. So many people buy, oh, I got to get a storage unit. No, you need to discard. You need to discard and here's the thing for people that live alone, this may be an easier thing to do than people with family. But if you have a family, you guys, I want to tell you this, create a designated storage space for each person in your family so they know where to go to check on their particular things because you put things where they belong and your space will then remain very, very tidy. Some storage tips for you guys I have, and pay attention to these. Avoid storing things in a pile, Tone. Store them vertically. Okay, vertically. There's actually a science behind that. I don't really know the actual specificness to it, but that's what I've been finding. The other best places to store bags is in another bag. I do that. Don't buy storages that would only be used for short term. Empty your bag every day. Use the closet more often than the floor. Don't store things in the bath and the kitchen sink. And for those of you that believe in like charms, make a use of the top shelf of your bookcase as like your personal shrine. And I don't know, maybe some of our listeners are like, "Oh yeah, I do that. That's cool." Here's another thing: remove clothes from their packages and arrange them immediately. A lot of us will get stuff from Amazon and we just hang it up and we leave it in the package. Don't do that. Eliminate excess visual information that doesn't inspire you, you guys. Your photos should inspire you and bring uplifting moments, okay? Treat your possessions like they really, really matter. Because here's the thing storage processes are essential in keeping your home tidy. Not only do these storage guidelines make you more orderly, but it also prevents like that rebound that I talked about and that frustration from disrupting your tidiness or decluttering. What do you got, Tom? I was just gonna say, I was like, yeah, no, it just says unable. Yeah, All right, well, we got some stuff that I can probably get. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Hey, dude, I've got like old electronics that I've been holding on to, and I got to get rid of them, y'all. Help me. Help, pray for me, you guys. Help me. Right. Okay. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Yep. Ah. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Hmm. Mhm. Mm. Mhm. Wow, that's well said. And I think a lot of us listeners out there, keep in mind, keep things that speak to your heart. Then take the plunge and discard all the rest. By doing this, you reset the way you live and begin to embark what I call a new lifestyle. I want to take us back for a little bit. Listeners, listen to me on this one. When you look back at your childhood, you'll find elements of what you loved doing then in your present life. Okay. The things you did back then have a way of influencing your life. The same as tidying up or decluttering. Decluttering is more than just the physical cleansing, it's mental, it's spiritual. Because when we begin to tidy up our house or declutter our house, it helps us discover the things you truly like. Here's what decluttering does for us, you guys. Decluttering lets you realize that letting go is better than adding. When you let go of things that don't bring us joy, it's like a huge weight lifted off. Then what will happen is it gains us more clarity and you'll be able to approach life by freeing the clutter of your space. Okay. Remember, this is just a real simple process of decluttering or tidying. Like I say, because it improves, here's the thing, it improves our decision making skills greatly because when you're able to discern what sparks joy, your brain automatically adjusts to it, thereby expanding your decision making skills. Your possessions are a big part of you. Treat them well means treating yourself well. What do you think, Tone? Mhm. Yep. Wow. Yep. Yep. Yeah. 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 Purpose. Yeah. Mm. I hate that word. Give your best. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Yep. Yeah. And to our listeners out there, just to kind of sum it up here, Tone. Remember, we can start living a good life in different ways, and it can begin by decluttering and tidying up as one of them. When we create space and achieve orderliness in our actual environment, it's an easy way to see where improvements are needed and how they should be done. So, tidying up, decluttering is an art that I think should be really discussed across all levels of education because it plays such a huge part of transforming our life for the actual good. So, because attachment to things, Tone, especially of the past or the fear of the future, can hinder our decision making skills. And if you're not careful, clinging to those things you're not sure of, discarding is like a pointless expenditure. Ask yourself if the reason you cannot, and I use the word with purpose here, truly discard it is without you attaching to it in a past or picturing its use for the future. So here's the thing, the decisions we make today reflect our choices tomorrow. Your choices reflect your actions determine your life. Only keep things you need, things that are necessary in your life, and get rid of things that don't spark joy, barely have negative effects. All right. In fact, this is only goes on to show that you have been surrounded by things you don't need, all while they're here, while they last. So regardless of your personality type, you guys, I know everybody's like, well, I have this certain personality type. Discard it is the first pattern that you need to follow any type of decluttering or tidying up. Because effective decluttering involves undertaking two essential actions, Tone, discarding and deciding. And then deciding where the things should be stored. Because those two, the discarding's got to come first. And here's the homework for you guys before I go. Do this all. Create time for yourself. Pick the stuff you want to tidy by category. Sort it using the method I discussed earlier, and then evaluate the result at the end of the whole process. What do you got, Tone? Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm. I love it. Let's hear it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Hmm. Ooh, big one. Yep. Hmm. Divorce. 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 No. Mm. Hey, yes, let's go. As always, 1% better in mind, body, and soul. And stay flex. Yeah, it was fun. Let me hit stop.